Greening our urban spaces is about planting more trees. It is about conserving and creating more green spaces and parks. But we have to think bigger than that. Green walls, green facades, green roofs. Our buildings are there ready for us to create urban oases with plants. Basically, plants are amazing for our urban environments. They make our urban environments more livable and more resilient.
And we can actually look at all those vacant urban spaces, fill them up with food, and really, turbocharge our cities so that they're absolutely just full of food that we can all share together. We think community gardens play this vital role of, getting the community together, learning all those, skills about gardening. They're the most amazing place to just acquire the skills you need to get up and growing and meet like-minded people who are going to change the world with you. The other thing about growing more food locally is it really builds resilience into our food system and actually starts to take it from resilience towards regeneration.
I see the connectivity between our parks and our green spaces as green corridors coming and traversing through the cities with green roofs and green walls inside and outside and everywhere in between. We must see our cities as the fabric for our new green landscape. And I see people leaving home not to go visit a park, but to literally traverse and experience the cultural diversity of the city whilst getting that nature experience.
It's a growing movement and it's something that we'll see a lot more of.
We can do things like planting more trees and vegetation around our homes, because trees don't just provide shade, they also provide evaporative cooling effects. So they make not just our home but our suburb cooler. Issues of extreme heat in our cities and our towns aren't just caused by rising temperatures. They're caused by the urban heat island effect, which means that you've got streets, you've got suburbs with not very many trees, with lots of concrete, lots of dark surfaces that attracts the heat and the sun and holds it out to radiate out throughout the night and during the day. Those areas can be over 10 degrees hotter than cooler suburbs or areas on the coast.
You can't evacuate everybody from a heat wave, and so people have to usually remain in place if they can. So we need to make the environments in cities as cool as possible. There's three things we can do to combat heat in urban places. The first one is to increase the tree canopy. The second one is to make space for us to be able to grow trees and vegetation in urban areas. And the third one is to change the materials that we use in urban spaces so that they don't store heat and re-radiate it.
Extreme heat impacts the way we live, work and play. We need to start building the livable, sustainable, equitable cities of our future right now, because the decisions we make today are going to affect all of us in the future.
Electric vehicles are far cheaper to run than our traditional cars. So refueling a tank of electric vehicles will cost you between $5 or $10. So we're seeing more electric vehicle models of different varieties coming onto our roads every day. Whether that's different types of cars, but also more buses, trucks, motorcycles, and including the latest technology in flying cars called eVTOLs, able to take us from point to point without even hitting the road. Transport's fundamentally about enabling people to access each other and access services. What we'd like to see in the future is that people are able to do the things that they want to do in their lives without having to worry about polluting the earth or making their neighbours sick. When somebody buys a new car, that ultimately makes its way into the second and third hand car market, where in fact most Australians participate and are able to buy a new vehicle. So the faster that we get more electric vehicles into our market today, the sooner that more and more Australians will be able to access them into the future.
Finding a second-hand EV in Australia has been really hard up until now. We don't have enough supply of EVs in Australia to have a second-hand market, so we've created one from scratch. We import EVs from Japan and the UK and make sure that we have all the consumer protections in place, so it's almost as though you're buying a new vehicle. The main benefit of EVs is that they're cheaper to run, they're faster, they're smoother and more fun to drive, and then the environmental benefits is that we have cleaner air and quieter cities. And more importantly, we can use those big batteries in the vehicle to be able to support the grid so that we can get well beyond 100% renewables by providing storage when we need it. It won't be long before EVs and all their benefits are accessible to all Australians. It's an exciting future, and we're on our way there now.